Welcome to a pop-up album tutorial. I'm Charee Filimoehala here at the Graphic45 headquarters, and today I'm excited to be using our brand new Midnight Tales paper collection in this tutorial. Of course, you could use whatever papers suit your needs for your album to reuse these techniques, but in your Graphic45 Volume 8 kit, that's what we're going to be featuring, and it is frightfully fun. So to dive into what we're going to be creating this month, we are going to be creating this beautiful pop-up album that has been designed for us by Maria Cole. You can see there's a lot of gorgeous dimension on the front, and as soon as you open it up, there's some fun frames, really making the most out of our papers. We've got a gorgeous pop-up element here, a great little pocket, so many interactive details, and so many places to document your spooky good times. There's even some little peekaboo pockets here on the side that we are going to create 6 different large size photo mats that are going to be perfect for your photos and your journaling. And there's just oodles of space and details just waiting for you to create this and make it your own. We gotta love these different pop-up elements that we'll be teaching you in this tutorial as well. But this could be such a fun album. We love it in Midnight Tales, but in a Christmas paper, it would be super fun as well. So we encourage you to create along with us. Another fun thing that you've got to love about this tutorial is that we're taking our pre-made Graphic45 rectangle tag and pocket album that comes with the 6 tags and the pages and binding, and everything's already done for you. So all you have to do is cut up these delicious papers and have some fun and learn some new techniques. So of course, a part of this Club G45 program, we will also be creating a little treat bag. So in a separate tutorial, you can find the link below. You can find how you can really utilize those leftover scraps and embellishments to create some cute little treat bags, great for tea bags or your little fun-sized candy bars as well. So be sure to follow along with that tutorial also, and pick up these kits if you're not already a subscriber at our website or your local G45 retailer. Our website's g45papers.com, and that's where you'll get this kit that comes complete with our 12x12 collection pack. You get 16 double-sided sheets in there, along with these 2 cardstock sticker sheets. You'll also be getting the Midnight Tales ephemera assortment die-cut pieces, as well as our gorgeous paper rose bouquet collection in the French lilac and purple royalty, a project sheet with the color instructions and step-by-step directions, and of course a Graphic45 bag to hold all these goodies in. So grab your kits or just your supplies and create along with us, and let's learn some fun new techniques. Let's get started creating our Peekaboo pop-up album. I would advise, especially with these longer, more complicated projects, to go ahead and read through all the directions before you get started. As a baker and a cook myself, I also do this when I'm baking, so I feel like it really helps knowing what supplies I need to have on hand and ready to go, and then also just gives me some insight on how to cut the papers and things like that, like why they go in a certain direction, and it all just makes everything come together and make sense while you're putting it together, which will result in less mistakes and less headaches and more fun while creating this gorgeous album. So just a little pro tip from me. And of course, on all of our project sheets, you can find the tools and adhesives that you're going to need, along with any notes. And of course, if you are creating along with us but you don't have the kit, you can print out our project sheet on our website, g45papers.com. Just go up to the top right hand side where it says inspiration, click that tab and go down to project sheets. Step 1, we are going to cut out 2 pieces of full moon that are going to be 5 inches by 7 inches. And then from our abracadabra paper, from the bottom border, we're going to cut out 4 of these stamps. And if you have some scallop scissors, you can go ahead and add those extra little details in by using your scallop scissors. But of course, you can cut straight as well, and it's going to look gorgeous either way. In step 2, we are going to be cutting out this frame detail here. So we can do this 2 different ways. In the directions, it tells us one way, which is to cut out from the cover of your collection pack a scrap piece that's going to be 3 inches by 5 inches, and then go ahead and center it on your 2 5 by 7 pieces we cut in step 1 and trace around, and then you can cut with an X-Acto knife or a paper trimmer. You could also measure in 1 inch on all 4 sides and create a line using a ruler that way, or you can take your paper trimmer as is. If you have a paper trimmer like this where you can set the blade down where you'd like it to go. So I've put my paper in where it's on the 1 inch mark on the right hand side and up to the top. And then I've moved my blade where it's going to start at 1 inch. And then I'm going to move this down to 6 inches. And then I'll rotate my paper and do the same here, except for, so I'll start at the 1 inch line. Make sure I move this to 1 inches on that side. Started at the 1 inch line and move it down, since this is 5 inches, to the 4 inch. Rotate. Put that on the 1 inch line, and this will just go all the way around. Now I'm on the long edge again, so I go to 6 inches. And on this edge to 4 inches. So now I have a little piece that we'll pull apart like so. And now I have my frame and my insert. So you can choose your own way how you want to do it, but for me, that's my preferred method. And then do that with both your 5 by 7 pieces. And then using some foam adhesive, foam tape, or even some chipboard, we're going to create some dimension, and we'll be able to slip in a photo from the top. So you want to make sure you've got this right side up. Look at that, those images and the wording, and then we'll add our adhesive onto both the right and left hand side, and then make a U shape, leaving that top unadhered so we can slide in a photo or whatever you want to feature in these frames. And then I'm going to go kind of close to my bottom edge where my frame is opening up, so it will kind of act as a lip, or it'll catch whatever I slide into there. Tag and pocket album, and these are going to go in the front and back inside covers. So again, making sure everything's right side up, and I'm just going to center this. I'm going to just cover up my little blemish down here with a black Sharpie marker. So after you adhere that one in the front cover, we'll do the second one in the back cover. Now we're going to do a little bit of decorating. So I'm taking this All Hallows Eve sticker from one of our sticker sheets that come in your collection pack, and that's going to go in the top center of our front cover frame. And then taking those stamps we cut out earlier, we'll adhere these just diagonally on our foam frame. And then on the back cover, we'll take this cute little boo sticker and put that in the same spot as our other sticker. We will adhere these cute little stamps again on a diagonal on our foam frame. The next step is to adhere our 3x5s into the open space of our frames. However, I like the idea of leaving these so we can use them as additional little things to tuck into our pockets, since I'm planning on using my frame for a photo. So you can see this is how Maria has done hers. It looks gorgeous. But if you're planning on putting in a picture here anyway, I would just save those and use them for photo mats. So now we're going to get started on our pages, and these albums are amazing and have so many pages, 36 to be exact, and we want to number them. However, you can see there's a lot of pages like this and this where we don't have a lot of paper covering them. So in the instructions it says to use a pencil to number your pages, which you definitely can, and then just erase. However, I'm just going to use some little bits of Post-it notes instead, and use those so I can just take off my pages as I work on them. So I've cut 6 different Post-its into 6 pieces. So now I can just number them 1 through 36 and then put them onto our pages. So I'll just show you with the first few here. Page 1 is going to be this first page on the right hand side next to our front cover frame, and 2 will be the back. And then I'll just go ahead and put my numbers on all of those pages so I know when I'm working on this project that I'm gluing things and adhering everything to the right page. Also, while you're at it, take all 6 of these tags out of their pockets as well. Step 6, we've taken Hallows Eve and cut out the 4 images, and 2 of them we've trimmed around so it's just down to the black border. So there's Magic in the Air and Fly Away are trimmed down just with the black border. Step 7, we're taking that abracadabra paper that we cut the stamps out of in step 1, and we are going to cut out these 2 borders, All Hallows Eve, and these each are 2 inches long, as well as there's Magic in the Air. These 2 borders are also 5 inches long. And then we're going to cut out the magic spells and spooky with the borders on the top and bottom. From Magic in the Air, we've cut out 2 pieces that are 5 inches by 12 inches and 2 that are 2 inches by 5 inches. And then taking those 5 by 12 inch pieces, we're going to score them. So this is right side up. I've got the bottom of my paper at the 1 or the 0, and I'm going to score this at 5 inches. This paper is kind of hard to tell the direction, but you can see this spider up here in the corner that is dangling down, so you know that is the correct direction. And then fold and burnish. And then in the directions, it says to use the collection packaging to cut out 2 templates that are 1 inches by 1.5. So then take those templates that we had just created, and one is 1 inch from the left and one is 1 inch from the right, and we are just going to trace these. I'm using a white pen, but you can use a pencil on all 3 sides. Now with your paper trimmer, we're going to do some trimming on those lines. We are going to do our 4 vertical lines. And the horizontal lines, we can go ahead and kind of score on that line. And then we'll just take our cut pieces and fold, just creating a nice crease. Like so. So we've got a castle looking thing going on now. Kind of move these back, and then let's open this up and pop out these 1-inch segments. So now we have created our fun little pop-up mechanism. So you gotta love how easy that was to create, and how also easy this would be to replicate in a card or other mini album pages too. And then do the same with the other page as well. So now we are going to adhere one of these onto page 1. So I've removed my Post-it note, and I've added adhesive to the shorter of the two sides. So this is the 5-inch side. And I'm gonna flip that over and find the center of my page 1, where I have an equal border all the way around. And then I can adhere that base layer down. So I'm just using a liquid adhesive. I'm using the Art Glitter Glue, but you can use whatever you prefer adhesive wise. Next, I'm going to adhere this to the top of my flap, but I don't want to adhere it down to my page. So I'm going to add my adhesive here, and then also to the bottom here. So that way I have a little more control over where everything is going to land, and making sure I'm not adhering anything down that shouldn't be adhered. All right, and then I always have a nice damp towel that I can get any excess adhesive off. Especially right now, I've unfortunately lost the pin to my fine tip nozzle, so I'm kind of relearning how to use this glue all over again since I don't have my extra fine tip. But bear with me, we'll figure it out together. Next, we're going to adhere this 5-inch All Hallows Eve border just flush. Next, we've added some score tape to the front of our pop-up mechanisms. So you can use liquid adhesive, but I don't want anything to go where it's not supposed to go. So I'm just gonna leave it with the score tape for now, and then take there's Magic in the Air that we cut out earlier. And this is going to adhere just beautifully onto these little posts, so it'll pop it up. So I'm just going to kind of lay it down where I want it to go and fold down my mechanism and apply some pressure, and then when this pops up, it'll be right where I want it to go. And now, with some of our die cut ephemera assortments, we're going to be decorating this up a little bit. So I'm going to just use some foam adhesives to add these elements on. And I'm going to use 2 of these cute little flag pennants, one on the spider side and one on the checkered side. And I've got this foam adhesives as well as that little boo. And then with this There's Magic in the Air piece we cut out earlier, I've added some liquid adhesive in a U shape to the back, leaving that top unadhered. That will create a nice little pocket for us. And then from our border stickers, I've trimmed this to be 5 inches, and I've got both the green and purple scallop border, and that's going to go just nice and flush with our bottom piece. Now, after our pocket has dried, we can take our magic spells piece that we cut out, and that slides right into our cute little pocket. So we have now completed page 1, and it is full of whimsy and delight. It's got some pop-ups, it has a secret pocket, and some dimensional embellishments. Step 15, we are going to turn to page 31 and repeat this process. So find page 31. And let's start all over again. So we'll add adhesive to our castle element on the 5-inch side. Take off our 31 sticker. And this is just going to be nice and centered on page 31. Then we're going to adhere this 5 by 2 inch piece and just outline our castle peaks, and then this will adhere flush with the top, making sure we're not adhering our page down. All Hallows Eve is next. And then we're going to take this cute little witch sticker, and it's just going to go right in the center of our floral orange flap. We're going to take this fly away piece we cut out, and that's going to be our little pop-up element here. So add your adhesive and close it up. Voila, we've got our pop-up mechanism. Then we'll be creating a pocket out of this border. And then we're going to take this cute little cat border, and it's going to go at the bottom. I just love how seamlessly all these designs and colors go together. And then we've added our ephemera assortment pieces to banners and a cute little eek. Step 17, we're going to take our second sheet of full moon, and we've cut out 2 pieces that are going to be 3 inches by 7.5, and then we've cut out 6 pieces that are a 1/2 inch by 7.5. Step 18, you're going to see we are going to cut out the first piece that's going to be 2 inches by 12 inches, and that'll be for our treat bags. So you can cut that and put it aside. Then we're going to cut out 6 pieces that are going to be 5 inches by 2.5. And then locate our abracadabra paper, and we're going to trim off the remaining stamp border and create 6 stamps. 3 of them will be for our treat bag to save, and 6 of them we will use in this project. Step 19, from our second sheet of magic in the air, we're going to cut out 6 pieces that are 3.5 by 4.5, and then round all 4 of those edges on all 6. And then adhere all 6 of these onto those 6 tags we pulled out of our albums. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can always add some ribbon to the top of your grommet holes. These are about 12 inches each. And I would suggest just folding in half and then taking the folded edge and looping it through your front of your grommet to the back, and pull, and using the bunny ear method, make 2 loops, cross one another, and then through the hole. And then slowly start to shape as you pull. So I'll show you this one, but I'm going to leave all my tags blank to showcase the 2 different examples. So you'll see Maria's that is done up with the ribbon, and then you'll see mine that is done without it. So I think it looks great either way, but this is how to do the ribbon if you want to. All right, so now let's start creating some more. So we're going to pages 2 and 3 on step 20. The first thing we are going to do is adhere one of our 1/2 inch by 7.5 inch strips of this stripe, and it's going to go on the left-hand paper towards the left-hand side. Just about 1/2 inch from the left. From those die cut assortments, I've got this fairy tag that's just going to go towards the bottom of our paper and over our stripes. And then I'm going to take my full moon stamp, and this is going to be angled on the bottom as well. And then we're going to take one of these purple text papers, and this is just going to go on the bottom here of our pocket. Just making that pocket stand out just nicely, making sure my words are right side up. And then I'm just going to tuck one of our cute little tags in there. With our second sheet of abracadabra, we've cut out 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 6 inches and 4 pieces that are 5 inches by 3 inches. So back to our album, we're going to turn the page, and for step 22 we are doing pages 4 and 5. So for step 4, keeping it nice and simple, just going to take our Hocus Pocus frame stamp, or sticker rather, and that's going to go right on our pocket. Voila. Of course, if you want to leave this empty, you could always label that and then use the sticker elsewhere. Or we can decorate and add that to the center. Page 5, we are going to take these abracadabra papers. We cut 2 of them that are 5 by 3, and we are going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. And I do like my ombre to be consistent, so you can see it's getting more purple as it goes down further down the page. And I want to leave about an equal border from the top left and right and the bottom left and right with the second piece. And then using these cute little stickers, I'm going to take this scallop circle witch. She's going to go right over my gap. And then I'm going to put this frightfully sticker just right in the center towards our witch. Step 23, we're taking Hocus Pocus, and we've cut out 4 of them to be 4 inches by 6 inches. Step 24, we're taking the second sheet of Hocus Pocus, and we've cut out 4 more pieces that are going to be 3.5 by 5.5. So all these 3.5 by 5.5 pieces, we're going to score at the top at 1/2 inch. From our second sheet of Hallows Eve, we've cut out 2 pieces that are 4 inches by 5 inches and 2 that are 5 by 7. Step 26, pages 6 and 7. We are going to take our Hocus Pocus papers, and our largest one is going to be our photo mat. And that's just going to go right in the center of our page 6. And then taking our smaller of the Hocus Pocus that we have the score line, I'm just going to add adhesive to that top 1/2 inch flap. And then this will also be centered on our Hocus Pocus. And that will be creating our cute little flap. So not only can we add a photo here, but we can flap this up and have a fun little surprise both here and here. And to decorate that a little bit further, we've got this cute little skeleton key. And we are going to adhere this onto our little flap like so. We want to make sure our handle will be clearing the page so when it opens and closes, when we change the page, it won't be obstructing and getting bent out of shape. So now you can see we can use this as a cute little pole like so. Page 7. We're going to take one of these striped large pieces that we cut earlier, and this is just going to adhere. I just put adhesive on the top and bottom, so I'm creating a nice little belly band, and it'll adhere in the center of our page. And then from our ephemera assortment, we're going to use this Midnight Tales frame and only put adhesive in the center so it can act as our striped paper will still be acting as our belly band. And then underneath that we'll have our key. So our lock and key will be side by side. And then we can take this green piece that is 4 by 5, and that's just going to tuck right underneath our belly band. But how cute are these pages, and they're coming together so easy and so nice. From our Midnight Tales signature page, we are going to do some fancy cutting. We want to keep our border intact, so we want this trick or treat message and all around that black border, including those pumpkins, and we want these 2 rectangles as well, and also this witch. So when you're done, you should have a piece that looks like this, your fussy cut witch, along with her cat and broom, and then these 2 rectangles. Step 28, we're taking our pumpkin patch paper, and we have cut one piece that is 2 3/4 of an inch by 8 inches. We'll be using the B side of that. And then from the remainder of the paper, we're going to do some fancy fussy cutting. So we are going to be cutting out 2 large pumpkin bundles, along with 2 medium pumpkin bunches, 2 medium fussy cut pumpkins, and 2 small fussy cut pumpkins. With our second sheet of pumpkin patch, we've cut out 2 pieces that are 10.5 inches by 6 inches. And now we're going to take these pieces and we are going to fold them in half, hamburger style. So just meeting up those corners, and then finding the center and going from the center from one side to the other to find that nice fold. And then we're going to make 2 templates out of our cover of our collection pack. One will be 2 inches by 1.5, and one will be 2.5 inches by 1.5. I like to curl up some washi tape and add it to the back, so when I'm tracing these, it makes it easier. I also pull out my scoreboard, so rather than having to mark 1 inch from the top and 1 inch from the bottom, I can just do that on my scoreboard nice and easily. And then now I can go ahead with I'm using a white pen, but you could use a pencil or whatever you've got, and just trace out those templates, making sure that you're on the folded line edge of our checkered board pieces. So once you take those off, you can see we have a nice little guide where we'll be doing the same as we did with our other pop-up pages. This one's just going to be opening up horizontally rather than vertically. And then we are going to trim on all 4 of those vertical lines. And then we will fold on the white creased line. And then when we open it up, we'll just pull out our center pieces so it looks like this, a diamond vortex, and then just go ahead and fold again, creasing anywhere that needs a little extra help. So now we've created our fun little pop-up element for our second round of pop-up pages. Step 33 from Abracadabra, we've trimmed out our pumpkin's fat witch's lean border. We've trimmed out our black cat border to be 10.5 inches long, and we've cut these pumpkin borders in half so we have 2 of them that are 6 inches long. Step 34, we are going to start working on pages 8 and 9. So next we're going to take one of those pop-up elements that we created. We want our larger of the 2 pop-up pieces to be towards the bottom, and so everything should be right side up. And I've put adhesive on both sides of this element. This E is for element paper, and I'm just going to have this be weighted a tiny bit more towards the top and pretty much centered other than that. And then my crease lines will be flush with the score line on my page. And now I can go ahead and adhere this down onto my pages. So again, this is page 8 and 9 that we're working with, creating this nice dimensional page. We folded this pumpkin's fat border in half, and now I'm going to adhere it just flush underneath my pumpkins, 1 page at a time, and it should fit beautifully like so. Next, from our Midnight Tales signature page, we cut out this cute little fairy underneath the toad, and that's just going to go in the center of our bottom left panel, making sure I'm not going to obstruct this top one, and I'm not going to go off the page. Just being mindful of my placement. One of each of our sizes of pumpkins that we cut out earlier. And we're going to adhere these on as well. I'm going to take my largest bunch here, and it's going to adhere onto this top left hand pop-up. These 2 that are bunched together are going to adhere onto our right hand side, having our pumpkins just pop off the bottom little flap. And our large of the 2 pumpkins, I'm going to put one down here on the bottom. And then with our smallest, cutest of pumpkins, I'm going to use some more foam adhesive. My adhesive stickers, or scissors rather. And then I've added some foam adhesive to the cutest littlest pumpkin, and this is just going to go right by this cute little fairy's feet, making sure none of my sticky back is off the page. Now you can see how much fun this dimensional pumpkin page is when you pop it open and closed. Now at step 35, we're going to skip to page 26 and 27, and we'll repeat that process here. Voila! So now we have also completed our pages 26 and 27. Step 36, we're on pages 10 and 11. So for 10 and 11, we have repeated our steps 20 and we've just reversed the design. So we've added our paper to our pocket here, added in a tag, a stripe, a sticker, and a black cat. Step 37, we're going to turn the page and now we are working on pages 12 and 13. For page 12, we're taking this pumpkin paper and we've already cut it to be 5 by 7 inches. So now we can just adhere this down, just right in the center of page 12, making sure your pumpkins are right side up. And then from your stickers, we've got these cute little triple sticker bundle here that's been cut to be 5 inches also. And that is just gonna go, make sure we've got our scallop showing, but that's gonna go right flush with the bottom of our green pumpkins. I am just loving how this album's coming together. It is so stinking cute. But of course, we want to see what your albums look like. So go ahead and share your projects with us on social media. You can share on our Instagram using that graphic45 hashtag, or you can share on our graphic45 community page on Facebook. And now we've just added a fun little banner to the top, which will be a great place to label your photos. On page 13, we've just repeated that hocus pocus process where we've created our little flap and added this little pocket watch ephemera piece. Step 38, we're going to be working on pages 14 and 15. And we've repeated our stripe with the embellishments, our purple pocket with our tag. Step 39, we are going to be working on pages 16 and 17. This is another one of those super easy pages, which you gotta love, and which means there's just more room to make it your own with all of your special memories. Just adding our lucky spell sticker there. And then our abracadabra paper that's been cut to 3.5 by 6 inches, we are just going to adhere that. I'm just going to put adhesive on the top and bottom, and that's going to adhere just a little bit weighted towards the bottom and the left-hand side. And I'm going to add my little hocus pocus tag in the center of this black space between my cats and the edge of my page. And my little pumpkins are going to go just at the top of my cat photo mat. So you know how I left these out from my frame centers? You know, these empty pockets would be a great place to put these cute little photo mats, but I could also, since I only adhered this like a belly band, could store that in there as well. Step 40, we are taking a sheet of black cardstock and we are going to be cutting out one piece that is 10 inches by 1 inch, two pieces that are 4.5 by 6.5, and one that is 6.5 by 4.5. With our 10-inch strip, we are going to score this at 1 3/4, 5 inches, and 7 3/4. And then go ahead and score on all of those score lines. Next, we're going to take that fussy cut witch and we're just going to fold her approximately in half. I have my fussy cut image folded in half, and then now with my 10-inch piece I can adhere her to the bottom. So I want to leave a little bit of space off the bottom, so maybe a 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to just add adhesive to her accordingly, like a thick, nice line. there. And then my 10-inch piece, fold that in half, and at that 5-inch mark, that's going to be right on the crease of my witch cut apart. And I'll just adhere one side down at a time. So I'm kind of keeping the creases nice and flush with each other, and then I'll burnish the other side. And make sure I get any excess glue off the outside as well. Now I've created a nice little dimensional piece for another little pop-up. So we're taking this border piece, and it's now been cut into 2 pieces, or this is a 7.5-inch piece. And this is our 4.5-inch piece. And we're gonna put it across like so, and we are gonna score at 5.5, 6, and 6.5. And then we will do the same with the bottom. So just flip that over, score at 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Step 44, we are going to start working on pages 18 and 19. Then we're going to grab our border piece that we just scored. We're going to do the top one first. And we're going to make this fit nice and flush on our page. And then I've added adhesive everywhere except for the center. And I'm going to adhere this down slowly. So this should be flush with the top and left. And then where we've scored should be popping up, and this will be nice and flush with the side and right. So now just get off the excess and burnish this down. And you can see that this does overhang a little bit, so using my glue adhesive, or my adhesive scissors, I'm just going to trim this down. So with this piece, just go ahead and fold in half, and then fold on those other 2 lines so you've got your black spider webs showing. And we'll do the same here. So I don't want to adhere my center area where we did all the score lines. So starting with the left-hand side, I want this to be flush with the side and bottom. And same here on the right-hand side, making sure our centers are unadhered. So how cute is this little custom bordered pop-up page already? So now we're going to take our little witch element and add adhesive to these 2 flaps. And then making sure everything is right side up, we can start adhering this down. I'm going to do my left-hand side first, and I want my left-hand side to be flush with the right side of my left paper, about 1 inch from our border. And my right hand side, I want to be flush with the left hand edge of the right side. Again, parallel with what we have on the other side. Once you like that placement, you can go ahead and burnish it down. So now you should have a beautifully dimensional page like this. Step 46, we're on to pages 20 and 21. Cruising right along here. We're going to take one of those half-inch stripies and adhere this down on the left-hand page. We're going to grab this cute little fairy frame tag sticker, and it's going to go down in the bottom corner. Of course, you can always leave your fairy out if you want to add a little personal sentiment or something there. And then put our cute little black cat off to the side. On the other side, we are going to stick in another one of our floral tags and adhere down our purple text on the pocket. For step 47, pages oopsie doodles. Here we go. Got a little tear, but not to worry. Step 47, pages 22 and 23. This is precisely why it's nice to number our pages, so in case any of them get stuck together or you skip some, you always know that you're right on track. So here we are going to be adding some black cat papers that we've already cut out, as well as some stickers. So on step 22 on this lovely pocket page, we'll be adding our "There's Magic in the Air" sticker in the center of our pocket. And on page 23, we are going to take our cats and we are going to adhere them just like we did in one of our previous pages that was the same template. So we want equal borders on the sides and bottom, and equal black borders on the sides and top for this part. And then we're going to take the witching hour tag, and it's going to go right in the middle, just bringing it all together. Step 48. We're working on pages 24 and 25. We are going to do our Hocus Pocus flip up page. And then we've added this witching hour as our little flip tab. And on this side, we've created another belly band using our stripe piece. This is from the ephemera assortment, and one of our cute little smaller green pumpkins slides right in the center there. Step 49, we are going to skip this one because we've already completed that. Love that. And we're working on pages 28 and 29. 28's one of our purple pocket pages with the tag, and 29's got our half-inch stripe border and some cute little ephemera and a cutout stamp. Step 50, we are going to be working on page 30, and this one repeats our step 37 photo mat page. So we have that big, gorgeous green photo mat, and then taking our triple border piece, we've cut this one again to be 5 inches to go across the bottom of our little pumpkin page. And then with this abracadabra banner, we are just going to pop that with some pop dots right at the top center. And we already did this beautiful pop-up page. I just added our spooky cut apart in there now that our pocket has dried. Step 51, we're working on pages 32 and 33. and then decorate it up with a stripe, a magical ephemera, a pumpkin stamp, and our little pocket text and tag. Step 52, we're working on pages 34 and 35. I've added this flight of fancy. And then our cat piece we've got left over, I've just added adhesive on the top and bottom. And this is just weighted a little bit towards the bottom and the left-hand side. And our cute little fairy under the mushroom is going to go at the top. And then are going to put this cute little "There's Magic in the Air" tag on the left-hand side. Or right-hand side, rather. You know, my other left. Like so. Step 53. We are moving on to our last page, page 36 of this gorgeous album. And we are going to be doing another one of those Hocus Pocus flip top pages. And then using this die cut witch clock, we are just going to adhere this onto our piece, making sure our witch is flying right side up. And if you did what I did and you put a little too much adhesive on exposed areas, just take your damp paper towel and dry that off. Step 54, with a second sheet of Fairy Mischief, we've cut out 6 pieces that are going to be 4 by 6. 3 of these we've matted on the purple side up on those black cardstock pieces we cut earlier. And the other 3, we're going to take some coordinating stickers and create those photo mats with these. So I've got this cute little square number. I'm going to do this one, all my tabs on the black side on the right hand side. These ones are going to be match up my squares. And now I've created a cute little pull tab. I can do a better job matching up those squares. Okay, there we go. Match up those squares, and now we have a cute little pull tab. These are just going to slide in those cute little peekaboo pockets. So this one I'm going to do more in the center. Pumpkins on one side and the moon on the other. And my last stickers with my black cats. I've got 2 of those, so these will be towards the bottom. So there you have it. I've got my 6 photo mats that are ready to go inside of my album. So I'm just going to go every other one. You can do it however you like the most, but I'll start with my tab on the top and then do a purple text photo mat, and then just keep staggering those all through my side peekaboo pockets. So we love how this uses up scrap paper, and it provides so many extra spots for photos. So you can do photos on the front and back. So just alone here, that's 12 more large photos. Step 55, we're taking our pumpkin patch piece that we cut earlier and a template that we're just cutting from our cover that is 1 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches. And we are going to trace this 1 inch and in the center of this pumpkin patch piece. So just taking like so, and then we can use our paper trimmer or your craft knife to cut the center out. This is for the side of our album. You can see they have these great little label holders there. So we're just cutting out a perfectly sized hole for our label holder. Oops. And now that's going to just pop right out. And then this will adhere right on the spine of our pop-up book. So it'll be flush with the top and bottom, and just center it from there. All right, so on the back cover, we've added our hocus pocus that we cut in the beginning, as well as this border. And now we're just gonna do some decorating here. Now taking our black cat ephemera piece, we are going to trim off, I'm gonna trim off this bottom circle here. And then this cat that's been cut off, I'm going to trim off there. And let's see how we're doing on space. So we still need to trim about half a cat down. And so now our length is pretty good, but our width is too wide. So I'm going to trim off the black, orange, and checkered border here and see if at this point we are good to slide in perfectly. And now with these little spider ephemeras, they are going to just dangle underneath our label plate. For our front cover, we're going to adhere All Hallows Eve to the top, flush with the top right hand corner and the right hand side. And you know, with these covers, I like to make sure that there's a lot of good adhesive coverage, so none of the edges are going to pull up with all that wear and tear that your albums will be getting. Then we're going to take our pumpkins and adhere it right underneath. So just have it be flush with the bottom of All Hallows Eve and the edge of our album cover, and burnish out any air pockets. Next, we are going to start to decorate our cover with some of our ephemeras and the rose bouquets and some stickers. So we've adhered this ornate purple frame to the bottom right hand corner, and just a great way to do these die cuts that are more intricate. You can take your finger or a paintbrush. I'm using just a foam cosmetic sponge, and we can just adhere on this, just dab it on gently. Of course, you want to do this with an adhesive that will dry clear, but that way you can make sure you're getting down all of those lovely pieces. Next, I'm going to take this sticker and just apply a foam piece on the bottom, and then this will attach right in between our two flourishes. Now these rose bouquet packs are packed with gorgeous leaves, rose buds, and the full-blown roses. And in this pack, we're going to be using both those rose stems. I've added adhesive to my stem, and now this one is going to go all the way up to our top pumpkin. Give it some nice shape and curve to that stem. And then our bottom piece will go layered, and we will lay over some of those leaves. Let's see, I'm making a bit of a mess, but we're going to cover it all up with flowers anyway, so not to worry. Now taking our two smallest of our rose buds, I'm going to intertwine these a bit. I'm using my adhesive scissors. I will cut off the bottom 3 inches or so of that wire, and we can start to adhere these down as well. I'm also going to put in one of these curly little stems. So separate those two blossoms and put this down. Next we have our larger bud that I've cut off most of that stem, and this will adhere right underneath our other. And you can really do this exactly how we're doing it here today, or you can make it your own and use as many or as few flowers as you'd like, or your own design pattern. Of course, we always love when people try new things. These flowers are gorgeous with some stickles on top of them too, if you want a little extra shimmer and shine. So we'll go ahead and put this to the side to dry. Give yourself a round of applause. You have created the most incredible pop-up album. We hope that you've enjoyed creating this gorgeous book with us today and learned a few new fun and dazzling techniques. If you're looking for more great tutorials like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit that notification bell so you know every time we post a new tutorial. If you want to create these treat bags, also you can find this link in the description below. But we want to see what you created, so go ahead and share your projects with us on Instagram using that Graphic45 hashtag. Join us on our Facebook community page, where you'll find other like-minded crafters like you who love vintage and love paper crafting. We thank you so much for joining us today, and as always, happy paper crafting.